All right, Cali Trip 2017 is starting to take off. We've got our passengers showing up and our luggage getting packed up and ready to roll. See, we were smart. We have 950 miles, roughly 15 hours to travel, so we put all of our stuff in these lovely bins. And so, of course, we got everything loaded up and we were ready to go. The last bin out, we ended up totally letting the cat out. So now we're trying to find the cat. He's unfortunately ran under our deck, so hopefully this won't take too long. So although the humans were packed up and ready to roll, our cat was not quite ready to let our trip begin. So thanks to the help from the kiddos, we rounded him up from under the house and off we went. Everybody ready to roll?
Yeah!
Yeah, oh, camera's going crazy, going crazy. Ah! All right, we're all checked in. I don't know how many hours we got, but we got a sick passenger. Hopefully we don't all get sick. Anyhow, let the journey begin.
Day one.
And just like that, we were off. Now, the goal was to get about halfway, which we were looking at the maps and saw it as being Sacramento. Turns out Sacramento is about 530 miles, roughly 8 hours from where we started, but off we went anyways. Now, the weather could have been better, but it could have been worse. We won't really complain. We got to see a whole lot of everything. We got to see some nice sunny stuff. We got to see some fog banks. We got to see, In-N-Out, food break, food break. This, of course, was a highlight of our journey. I think we ate at In-N-Out probably 7 times, I think was our official count. This place was crazy. No matter which one we went to, there was always 10 to 15 cars in line, like beyond the parking lot, and good luck finding a parking spot. And all of a sudden, here we are. We were finding ourselves at the California border. Quick and easy, so it seemed, until this happened. No, I'm just kidding. Nothing happened.
Okay, thanks.
Luckily, she didn't take notice of the couple of fruitcakes we had riding in the back seat, but on we were into the California land, and all of a sudden, we found ourselves at a crossroads, and we gave the boys a choice. All right, boys. Right now, as it sits, the trip's taking us to Sacramento. We have an option to take a right turn and go check out the Bay Area and hit up San Francisco and maybe go over the Golden Gate. What do you guys think? You want to go to the Bay or you want to go to Sacramento?
San Francisco. San Francisco.
The Bay it is?
Yeah.
All right, Mom, we better take that turn. We took a right, hopped on the 505, rode it down to the 80, and found ourselves in Vallejo for the night. Despite the fancy look from the exterior, the DoubleTree was a pretty standard run-of-the-mill hotel. However, it had pool access open, so the boys, of course, being the water dogs they are, hopped in for a last-minute dip. And then back to the hotel room real quick. What up? As you can see here, there's my fancy little gimbal I use to keep all the video stable. Reese, Callan, and Jilly Bean putting the room together. Callan had his own cot in the side because the boys didn't want to share a bed. So anyhow, day one, done. All right, we're all rested up and on our way to the Golden Gate. Woot!
I don't know if that's where we wanted or not.
So now you can turn.
Up.
Yeah, coastal route. Let's go check it out.
So that means, dude, look at all. Is that San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
Take the ramp.
What about that bridge
You
over
will
there?
arrive at your destination.
So that's not the Golden Gate over there.
That's what I thought. I thought that was the bridge.
This is the bridge, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The giant red one.
Check it out, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty
Dude,
sweet.
look at Santa. Fred. Whoa. Look at that big, like, oval building. Tallest building in San Francisco.
I don't think I got the sign in time. So if you've never been, the Golden Gate Bridge is a 1 mile long bridge. It is an amazing sight, and it's doubled with Alcatraz right there on the side. I probably should have edited some of this down a little bit more than I did, but it's such an amazing sight. You'll see why I didn't. I hope you enjoy it as much as we did. After taking in the sights of both the Golden Gate and Alcatraz, we also wandered over to the often forgotten about Battery Spencer. Now, Battery Spencer was actually one of the main protection points of the San Francisco harbor back in the early 1900s. It actually hosted a couple, three I think it was, 12-foot guns that would protect from any wrongdoers coming through her. So, yeah, we actually made our way across this big, beautiful International Orange Bridge, hosted with 1.2 million steel rivets, that's quite a few, and we made our way into the actual city of San Francisco. Now we got up and down, and all of a sudden we found ourselves looking at the crookedest street in the world.
Here we go.
We're on the crookedest road ever.
Supposedly in the world.
Supposedly no.
Look at how beautiful it is, you guys, with these buildings and the plants. Look at these purple flowers.
I just have it propped right here, so it looks really good. So every turn
How
that
cool
we
is
make,
this, you guys?
awesome. What? There's a hippie van.
Look at this car parked. You'd have to have a toy car to live in one of these houses and park there. Look at this driveway, it's insane.
We were making pretty good ground until we hit that LA traffic, which really slowed us down. 90 minutes to cover 30 miles, but won't be long now.
Your destination is on the right.
All right, boys, day 3. We are officially about to leave our hotel in Anaheim, California and head down to Disney. What do you guys think there, Mr. Hiccups?
I think that this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, pay close attention to the gear we're wearing as we're going to take a where in the world picture when we get there for the old Blazers and Alaskan Airlines deal. So we got Respect, and we got some Rip City, and we got some Mama wearing Blazer stuff. And of course, me too. I got my Blazer gear on as well. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick peek out our window here at our amazing situation with the pool and our super sketch balcony. Look at that thing. Craziness. And then check it out. Look how close to the park we are.
Woohoo.
There it is. All right, boys, let's go get our shuttle passes and let's make this happen.
Yes.
Well, we did it. We arrived at the front gates of Disneyland and California Adventure with plans to take on Disneyland today. Unfortunately, a little miscommunication and me getting sick slowed us down a wee bit, but I got my legs back under me and we were off in no time through Adventureland. And of course, we headed to one of my favorites and must-sees was the Pirates of the Caribbean. So we all stepped in, and after a short wait, we actually got a couple of selfies, and then we were off.
I want a beer.
Here I be, holding the treasure map and the key as well. Me, drink out of me, how this young.
Jack Sparrow and the Pirates didn't disappoint, but it was eating time, so we stopped at a little cafe and got quite possibly the most expensive chicken skewers on the planet, and then it was off to some more rides. Next up was Jungle Cruise.
See, when he found out that he had been promoted to head salesman of the jungle, he invited a few of his friends over, and when he told them what he had in mind, they completely lost their heads.
Another must-see for me was the Haunted Mansion, which had been redecorated to look like the Nightmare Before Christmas. This was a fun ride, however, it took us an hour and a half to make it through the line due to the ride breaking down while we were waiting. Now, of course, we were smart enough to stay in line and continue to wait in hopes that the ride wouldn't break down anymore, but after a little short journey through the ride, we would find that our luck wasn't so good.
Christmas sleigh. We will continue your holiday tour
This is awesome.
momentarily.
We survived the Haunted Mansion and all of its breakdowns, headed off to the California Pizza Kitchen to grab some eats, and then headed back to the park to witness this. Only those who look suspect got stopped.
Here we are. We're ready to go get some rides on as well. Let's do this.
We gonna get off at Tomorrowland.
It's pretty though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I enjoy this. Hate standing in line. It's a small world, yeah. Nice. Birdie.
Remain seated until the train reaches a complete stop. This is Tomorrowland Station. If you want to leave this here, the final exit. Remain seated until
We are getting off here.
on the platform. We're gonna stick around.
So the boys wanted to do some driving, so we hit up Autopia next.
Oh, dang.
Uh-oh. No, it's not. She crashed? Look at the backup over there.
You are approaching the unloading area. Please slow down and one car lane between you and the car in front of you. To stop your car, take your foot off of the pedal. Thanks for driving at the Tomorrowland Autopia.
She's a bad driver. Lacey!
What?
Lacey wants to get off the road. There's too much traffic.
Oh, that laugh. Next up was Splash Mountain, where we tried to take our Where in the World picture. What do you think? How'd we do? Now, you may have noticed Dad and Liz were not in the back getting drenched as we were in Splash Mountain. They opted to actually hang out and watch the first showing of this laser light color show called Phantasmic. It was a showcasing of Mickey Mouse and friends being kind of tormented by an evil force. Now, we saw all sorts of things. You could see a little boat going by there. There's actually a giant boat, a pirate ship, in fact, comes through at one point. And there's this crazy battle that ensues on the ship as it rolls right on by us. You can see, look at them bouncing around. It was insane. There was actually a dragon that catches fire at the, oh my goodness, it was amazing. Now, he didn't say it, but I'm pretty sure this was my dad's favorite part of the show, as he kept telling me, make sure you got film ready, make sure that camera's ready. Up until this point, he would make sure, oh, wait till the finale, and here it came, and it was amazing. And what a way to finish off our first night at Disney. Oh yeah, and that's real fire by real people too. All right, day 4 is among us. We went ahead and we hopped on the old bus, took it on down. This time we had Disneyland checked off, so next up was California Adventure. This time I didn't get sick walking in, and we headed right on into the rapid rides, where we actually hopped on and did that right there. Didn't take any pictures while we were doing it, but we did hop over and take a couple of photos with Mickey. Then we rounded up and found Dad and Liz, got a couple of photos with them as well. And then we headed on over to Paradise Pier, which was quite a treat, I have to say. Lots of stuff going on over there, from roller coasters to the Ferris wheel, lots of little shops, trinkets. They even sold alcohol on this side of the park. Very different experience than Disneyland itself. Now, if you haven't been to Disneyland in quite some time, this is rumored to be where the old parking lot used to be. So chances are you may have been here before, but it may look a little different. But speaking of Goofy, there he is right there. Just kidding. The roller coaster proved to be a bit above our pay grade, as it went from like 0 to 40 in like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, something like that. And that thing was out of there. Both the kids wanted to try it, but we opted to distract them with other things and keep things moving along. Next up, we hit up the old Ferris wheel. Now there were some options. There are swinging carts and non-swinging carts. Us non-crazy people took the non-swinging cart, while the crazy people took the swinging carts. Oh, and then there was this. Dad Dad had gotten a tip to check out Soarin' Around the World, which was a breezy airborne flight around some of the most breathtaking wonders throughout the world. And we definitely got a breathtaking wait as the ride completely broke down, and we had at least an hour and a half wait for that one too. It did end up, however, being worth the wait and was actually one of the favorite rides for all of us. Now, I sort of forgot to mention that today was actually Thanksgiving, and somehow we managed to have an amazing meal in a box from our local Safeway and didn't manage to take any pictures. But shortly after stuffing ourselves to the fullest, we actually headed back to the park, which was not the greatest of ideas, but we did it anyways. Next stop was Hollywoodland, which represents the golden age of Hollywood and the magic of Disney movies, and is celebrated with attractions, shows, shopping, all sorts of stuff. Not that you can tell from my blurry camera work here, but there's even a trolley, which we opted not to ride for whatever reason. But next up, we headed on over towards what used to be the Tower of Terror, but it was now the Guardians of Galaxy, and we got to witness a little dance-off out front, which was pretty cool as well.
Jealous?
No.
Well, I mean, I can see why. Look at her. Lots of attitude, classic curves, not so mean. Yes. Hear that? Little bit of cheese, mixed with a promise. Here we go. Hey, hey, what's the matter with your head? Come on.
Let's get out of here.
Not exactly sure who won the dance-off, but next up was Radiator Springs, by far a ride favorite and one of the highlights of the day for sure.
Rum, rum. That's V8. We're all visitors on this planet. Yippee.
Radiator Springs.
Champion needs speed.
Let's start.
Luigi, give our cringer back. Racing car. Green up to the starting line. Rum, 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 rum.
Did you have your ground pants on?
Because we made new friends. We won!
We continued our tour through Radiator Springs, checking out the Cozy Cone Motel, as seen in the Cars movie. And it just so happened that Mater was there for picture taking. However, we were a little bit later for Mater, and he rolled out, which we weren't sure if somebody was in there driving him or if somebody was using a remote control. He had a gal kind of clearing a path and leading the way, but we never did figure that one out. Luckily for us, though, Lightning McQueen showed up. We got a couple of photos with him, and that pretty much wrapped up our California adventure. And you can see we were kind of beat working our way out, but we jumped over to Disney and rode a couple more rides before heading out and calling it a night. Now, I'll let you guys be the judge. What do you think? Does it look like we had fun? Check. How about, does it look like we are tired? I don't know. You be the judge. Day 5. Plan was to get up, say goodbye to Dad and Liz as they were heading back home to Oregon, and head further south down to Carlsbad, California, where Legoland is. That's right, a while back we got a package sent to us from Warner Brothers, which actually entitled us to a couple of free passes. So, of course, we didn't want to miss out on our opportunity as we were so close being in Anaheim, California. We figured we'd make the journey down, which again ended up being roughly about an hour down there. And once we got there, boy, we had no idea what we were in store for. Now, we knew they had rides, and it was a very similar theme park experience as California Adventure and Disneyland is, but it was quite different as everything's made of bricks. So we went ahead and let the old wifey take the lead here as we had no idea what we were doing. And she got us quickly into the park, and we were off and running.
Thank you, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, let's look at this sparkle. These are Legoland exclusive.
Oh, oh, oh.
That's good.
Some good hats, yo.
They've got us $10 for
Да, а в доставке написано, что он положил дело в коробочку сбоку. Вон в офисе.
Look at the rock baby that faces them.
Get it? Singing rocks, we will rock you. Anyhow, we made our way further into the park and found ourselves inside a factory tour. Now, this is available to anybody that enters the park. However, we got inside and we actually met this very nice lady who worked there, saw us filming, and she offered to give us a behind-the-scenes tour. Now, here was the catch. She saw me filming and offered us a special tour, but prevented me from filming any of the special access. So I ended up getting a little upset and I left because I wanted to film some things for our vlog. And but I got some stuff before I left. You can see here, there's a couple of different machines that are making the bricks. You can see a couple of them just fell right out of the machine there. We have a couple of those. She gifted us some free red bricks that popped right out of this machine right here. Pretty amazing stuff. Now, there's all sorts of conveyor belts, ins and outs, ups and downs, and you can see here this one was making wheels. It was actually putting them together, and it was a little bit of a confusing process as it seemed to build the front wheel first and then it made it all the way around. And anyhow, oh, and there was this panda too that Jillian got to hold. Now, there was some special story behind it, but I could not quite understand the lady as she had kind of a heavy accent. After the tour, we made our way out and down into Miniland USA. That's right. There was a whole bunch of different monumental Lego buildings and areas. In fact, they had Pier, 39, I believe it is? We'll see in a second as I show. Yep, there it is. Pier 39. We had Lego wood instead of Hollywood. We had all sorts of stuff. The Golden Gate. It was pretty neat to see all of this in its miniature form. Now, one question I had, and the kids had too, like, what happens when it rains? Now, I know San Diego and Carlsbad don't get a lot of rain, and the weather there stays pretty good all the time, but it made me wonder, they have to have some sort of tarp coverings or something, because a lot of work has gone into these little mini cities. I mean, look at that, Lego wood. All right, now as we continue to move along, we actually found our way up the stairs, and look at this, we're going into Star Warsville. That's right, there was nothing but Star Wars on this upper tier up here. We had the little dugout, the trench on the actual Death Star that was all created with Lego. We also had a giant Death Star. This is not like the Death Star you can purchase. It was unlike any. And look at this, Star Destroyer down. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, look at the size of this stuff. There was all sorts of little set scene pieces and stuff. I know my friend Barry would have lost his mind going through here because they literally recreated all of, well, not all of, but a lot of the monumental scene. Look, there's Han. Anyhow, we also checked out the Knights Tournament. So there's a whole area that's pretty much themed in old castle-y knights and dragons and such. There was even, well, a giant dragon. Look at that. A couple of the rides were down and out, and look at that, they even had a Warner Brothers family game space. So kind of makes sense on how Legoland was awarded to me by Warner Brothers, as they definitely have some stock invested here. It was all sorts of gamers, young and old, playing here. The only thing that I really questioned was all the Lego games they had were pretty old. They didn't have any of the new stuff. So anyhow, I guess the newest thing they had was Lego Ninjago Movie, which is pretty new, so I shouldn't be complaining. But boys sat down and took a couple of games for a spin. Looks like they're playing City Undercover right now. But yeah, I was wanting those posters. I'm like, where are the posters at? So that being said, we headed out to the merch area, which the big shop, we were told, had all of the adult size stuff. So in we went. However, we didn't have much luck. Got a few things though, and what an awesome time we had at Legoland.
You too. Well, what'd you guys think?
This is fun.
A blast?
Yeah.
Thanks to WB, huh?
Yeah, thank you, Warner Brothers. Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll be back.
To top the trip off, a good buddy of mine is actually stationed down in San Diego, and I had not seen him in a while. We met up with him, and he took us out to this amazing place called Strader's 50/50, where the burgers were 50% burger, 50% bacon. That's right, I said bacon. After that, we headed back up to Anaheim, packed up all of our stuff, and got a good night's rest because we had lots of driving. 2 days worth, in fact, on the way home. Not a whole lot to talk about. However, there was this one particular moment that was maybe worth mentioning.
Look at him.
I rolled the window down. I probably shouldn't have.
The smell lasted longer than we'd liked and lulled the boys to sleep. No, actually, it was exhaustion. We made it to Redding, California for the night. We called it good, had a nice hotel stay, which somehow we managed to not get any pictures or video of that. And then back to this lovely Oregon weather. That's right, we had quite a few miles to make on our last little section home, but it sure felt good to see those familiar mileposts and towns. Last but not least, we pulled into the homestead. There she blows. And we called it a night. There it is. Special thanks to Don and Helen and Tom and Liz for making this journey possible. We logged 2,144 miles. We certainly created tons of memories, learned a few lessons, and found out that we all could probably be in better shape. But that's going to go ahead and do it. Cali Trip 2017 success. Thanks for watching. See ya.